Alright, here's my build. I maxed out all these three at the top. And then, cool. You guys put that up because that's what I had left for the extra crit damage. Make sure when you're buying cyborg that you put on this perk right here so you get extra stat modifier options so you can select the same ones I have. This is very important when you're fighting big groups because when you pop your Sand Devastation or Berserk, increase that electrical shock. I mean, I use it so I can go over my cyborg capacity. This stuff helps with the healing, makes your healing quicker, super important. My other two perk points, I don't really know where to put them, just kind of extra. Slaughterhouse, because you need those, the extra stamina when you dismember somebody. Definitely need that adrenaline rush for charges. You get that extra health and damage. As you can see, I don't have Phantom Liberty, so I don't have none of the relic stuff. Some of the equipment in that DLC is way better. So I just don't have that stuff. So maybe you could look into that stuff that you may be able to get from that DLC because I don't have it. This is the Sand Devastation I use. It's really good, that 85% slow time. I'm just able to run behind people in circles and they can't hit me. Like, it makes such a huge difference than the other Sand Devastations. I'm pretty sure I got this one from Fingers. I'm not really sure how I got it, but it's super good, super broken. I really highly recommend it. So in the circulatory system, I use the biomonitor because it auto heals, so you don't have to like do it manually. That can really get you out of a pinch when you're fighting. You don't have to focus on your health. All you gotta focus is on the number of heals you have. You just worry about fighting, so it helps a lot. A lot of people use blood pump, but it's not a good healing item. The regular healing items you have when they're legendary, they're better. A lot of people like to run around and use heal on kill or whatever the other ones are. Stamina is very important for this build because you want to keep the pressure up at all times. It's really huge too. That 10% chance to release that electroshock when you take damage. I mean, anytime you get hit, you have a chance to explode electricity, that EMP. So it also combines really well with the technical ability perk. I forgot what it's called, but you know, having that all together factoring in is very well for taking out those big bosses. This one is huge, 18% crit chance. We're going to come back to that later with blades and throwable weapons. Super huge. I use dense marrow, or marrow, whatever you call it. 20% melee cost, don't even worry about it because everything we mentioned earlier is going to negate that really. You'll just get that stamina back real quick. Extra health. The carrying capacity doesn't matter too much, but it's that melee damage that we want from that. If you want to change it for something else, I used to use this one for that mitigation chance. Whatever you prefer, really. Yeah, just it doesn't matter which one of these you have. Just throw something up there that you like. That does really help the build. Just helps with the melee damage, and then you get these last two: melee damage, health, crit chance, and then definitely want the Newton module. You get that cooldown for taking out enemies. Also, make sure you look very, very closely at the stat modifiers when you purchase this hardware. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you upgrade it, right, you'll see you'll have these extra options, and these options only show up if you use that perk that I mentioned earlier in the technical ability chart. So make sure you equip it and you match which one you want to buy with the ones that I'm using. For example, don't go over here and buy these two. Buy the one that says melee damage, which matches the first one I got. I just wanted to take another note. This proxy shield, let's say you're fighting max tech and you're up real close, right? That negative 20 incoming damage is very, very crucial because you also have that 5% from your technical ability perk tree. So when it comes to actual blades, I just use a regular katana that I had crafted from a crafting spec, and then I throw on the cyclone mods that give you that extra melee speed after doing a sprint attack. There's another sword that you can get after doing all of Byakko's missions. It's called the Byakko or something. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's called something like that. So either you unlock that Byakko, but if you don't have it, just use the crafting spec katana and throw on the cyclones. But Byakko's better, but if you don't want to do all those gigs for Wakako, you just go ahead and use this sword instead. Alright, so here are my stats. When I use the pistol, it's not because I have any pistol upgrades. I just play on easy mode, so it looks like it does a lot of damage. If you use this build, do not use any guns. This is a full melee build. I wouldn't recommend using any firearms, maybe unless it's like a tier 5 shotgun, you know, so just stay away from actual guns. Just use straight melee throwing knives and the katana. a 47 melee damage and a 35% crit chance. 60% crit damage, as you can see, right? Now, if you take into account the stabber, cyberware, and the nervous system that I mentioned earlier, you get that 80% crit chance with blades and weapons. You come over here, you get that 25% crit chance with throwable weapons after taking them out. So 25% plus 18% plus 35%. That's over 60% crit chance. I'm not doing the math on that, but you definitely can. And just for like melee alone, that'll be 53% chance if you're using blades. So that's super good. And you get that 47% melee damage. So yeah, that's pretty much all I use when I fight max tech. I use these lasers because they do the most overall damage. Okay, so to wrap things up with everything that I've said, this is a melee build. Stick to using the melee weapons, alright? Don't use guns because guns, they're just not that good the way the build's set up. So if you're playing on very hard, just stick to the build strengths, which is using the katana and the knives, all that good stuff. So focus on that. And yeah, Sandevistan, I mean, this version of Sandevistan is just so broken, you can literally stealth with it. You just move so fast that you can sneak around at will. So yeah, this is how the build is supposed to be used. Aggressive, quick, fast, and personal. Just get into people's faces and shred.